So that's what some things you have to consider. Like, yes, I can give you all the home things that you can do, all the workouts, X, Y, and Z, all the equipment. Cool, you can have all of that. But if you're not changing your eating habits, there's nothing that can be done. Hello, lovely people. Welcome back. For those of you who do not know, my name is Woody, and here we're going to talk about books. We're going to talk about finance, lifestyle, faith, and of course, health and wellness, fitness overall. Today, it is our March Madness theme, and so it is March Movement Madness. So I'm going to take you through exactly what I have in my home to allow myself to be able to do my home workouts. These home workouts are honestly like essential for me. It has allowed me to lose almost like 25 pounds in about a year and a half. So, with that being said, yes, we're going to talk through my home workouts, my equipment, things that I have that are essential to my success. But then I started thinking, I can't just talk about my home workouts without talking about the things that I put into my body. That was also a key to my success. And that didn't come from going out and getting food out there. It came from supplying my refrigerator with essentials so that way I can deliver, exactly the goals that I have for myself. So that's what we're going to talk through today. I'm going to take you through a little bit of the food that's in my fridge to allow me to make better decisions. And then we're going to talk a little bit about the home equipment that I have here in my home to get me the success that I'm looking for. So let's go through the fridge, because after this, I'm actually going to do some food prep and get ready for my week. So I kind of try to do my food prep on Saturday. Yesterday was a day off for school, which is really nice. I was proctoring the SATs, but afterwards I made a decision like, okay, I have the day. Let me figure out what I can use with my time. And so I decided like, let's buy groceries Friday. That way I'm ready on Saturday to make my meals. So we're going to make some meals, but I'm going to share with you what's exactly in my fridge. So I'm going to take you along for the ride. Let's go. Okay, just a different angle. Yes, my fridge looks chaotic. I kind of call this like my scrapbook. So anyone who provides me with like postcards from any trips or my postcards for my trips, any Christmas cards, they just all go on here. And I absolutely love it. It just reminds me of the people that are in my lives and just the joy I get to have to be part of their lives and as well as like their kids' lives too. So I'm really thankful for that. Okay, so let's talk about what's actually in my fridge to keep me going. Okay, so first, we're almost done here with it. We have Siggi's. I started having Siggi's about a year ago. It's 19 grams of protein per serving. I really love it. This is the plain version. Yes, you can get the flavor. I think there's vanilla, but then you're adding sugars to your snack or whatever you want to make your yogurt with. So I just do the plain and it's good enough for me. I normally get whatever is available, sale, organic, whatever, but this is cottage cheese. I mix my cottage cheese with my breakfast meal that I prep throughout the week. So cottage cheese goes in that, and then it goes into my daily lunch. So when I make my ground beef bowl, I add a little bit of cottage cheese in there. So I have this one. This is almost done. So I'll probably finish it today when I prep my egg meal. I also have my cottage cheese I just purchased. This is new. This is Nancy's brand. I've never had it before. But this one was actually cheaper than the other ones, and it's also organic. So it's mostly probiotic, low-fat cottage cheese, 14 grams of protein per serving, half a cup is per serving. So that's what we have there. We have some organic cucumbers. We have some blueberries that I mix in either with a smoothie or I put it in a yogurt bowl that I try to make every day with my Siggi's yogurt. Tomatoes on a vine, organic as well. Some ground beef. So I get usually 2 pounds. That will allow me to have a meal that will cover most of the week. So we have that. Some peppers, they were on sale. So I only got the green though, because they were the ones on sale. This is also for my morning. I don't know how to pronounce this, but I think it's amilu sausages that I have. I cut these up and I put them in my egg breakfast dish, and it's just great for just added protein on top of that. The eggs, the cottage cheese, and then a little bit of this. And this will last me at least like 2 weeks worth of breakfast. So I love having this. Some onions I cut up with the peppers. I put that in my egg dish. I put that in my ground beef dish. It's great. Snacks that I love, because I'm not a snacker and I'm not someone who has a sweet tooth, but I want to be able to like fill up my belly for the right meal. So I get mush, which I absolutely love. I actually only like one flavor, and it's only the peanut butter flavor. There's sometimes peanut butter chocolate chip. That's fine too. It's like an added bonus, like little dessert, but For me, I absolutely love Mush overnight oats. Sometimes they are on sale and I'm just like, yes. We have our lime water, sparkling water. I have stopped drinking, not because I'm like drinking never ever again, but I did dry January and then it turned to dry February. And here we are still in March, not drinking. Feels really good. And it's actually cheaper to not have wine bottles in my home. So I just wanted fun water in my house. And so we have this, and sometimes it's on sale, which I absolutely love. But I got this seltzer water at Trader Joe's. So this was really nice. It is flavored with blood orange and orange juice, and so organic as well. 15 calories for this one. Some Vital Farm butter. This is a salted one, and it's 90% grass fed. I make matcha, and this is what I use for my matcha. It's really good. I'll share that with you too. We have some eggs, Vital organic eggs. We have baby spinach. I am gonna start adding this now to my bowls that I make for lunch, just to change it up a bit. I've been having cucumbers, and I just want to switch up the greens. So we have that style meal for my salmon dish. This one's really great. I'll have it for lunch and then I'll also have it for dinner, and it's like ready to go. You just have to heat it up. So it has sweet potatoes, salmon, and green beans. And so, yeah, guys, that is my fridge, and that's what allows me to be healthy. And let me just share a couple other things. I'll be back. Okay, another thing I have is I have gluten-free pancake mix. So this is great right here. I am trying to be as gluten-free as possible. I make this like once every few weeks. Like, it's not a weekly thing. I wish it was. Then for my matcha, I have Aya matcha that I get from Whole Foods as well. Absolutely love it. And then added on, sorry, that's gonna be loud on the mic, my bad. And then added on, we have some organic chia seeds. I actually got this from Trader Joe's and I found it to be cheaper than Whole Foods. So yes, I don't like to do multiple shops. This is when I went to go get, I had to get something at Trader Joe's. And I can't remember what it was. But then I saw these chia seeds that were fairly well priced compared to the ones at Whole Foods. And then I also saw those salsa water, so I got those too. So this chia seeds, I put them in my yogurt bowl. So I'll have yogurt in there, I'll have chia seeds in there, and then I'll show you a little bit more. Okay, in my yogurt bowl, I absolutely love mixing in some almond butter. So we have Justin's almond butter. I get this one from Whole Foods. And so they have different flavors of the Justin's brand. So they have normal peanut butter, they have almond butter, they have honey butter, like the whole 9 yards, they have it. I have the almond butter, absolutely actually love it. Usually if I have almond butter like alone or on apples, like it's not, to me, that's not flavorful. But when I add it to my yogurt bowl mix, it's great. And I absolutely love that. Something else I do, and I have to limit the amount of times I do it, is because you just got to be careful when things are that taste good and might not be really good for you in a large portion. At Whole Foods, they have the they have the peanuts mix, so you can like press a button and it grinds the nuts for you. And so yeah, I get the honey roasted peanut butter, so good. But also, I am the type of person that loves eating peanut butter from the jar, and the honey roasted is just so good that I have to be very careful about when I purchase it and making sure I like I don't know how to explain it. Like, I have to divvy it up well. So I have to make sure like I only have it for breakfast, or I only have it once a day. Like, it's really bad. So I'm just like, okay, let me just stop having it after like for some time and let's switch it up. So I have Justin's almond butter, and it's only for my yogurt bowl, and I won't have it for any other item of food because I don't like it with anything else but with my yogurt bowl. So we have Justin's here. So I started doing a lot of beef jerky. I love beef jerky. I'm a beef jerky girl. And I would go on road trips all the time when I would drive up to Maine, still do. And my go-to snack will always be beef jerky. So when I wanted to like find better snacks to have throughout the day, especially a long work day, I would go for beef jerky. And then of course I found Chomp. And then after a while, you gotta figure out like, is this cost effective for me? And so I wanted to find other options outside of Chomp. Chomp is great, love them. But then I found Archer, and this is also at Whole Foods too. This is Archer Mini, and it's all natural turkey. So it might be a little bit different compared to Chomp, like protein wise and everything like that. It's 5 grams of protein per stick. And so each stick, so it's 16 servings, serving size is 1 stick, calories 40. And so to me, that's fine. 5 grams of protein per 40 calories, I can deal with that. So this is what I will have like let's say I'm just like starving on my way home. Home can be like an hour and a half, depending on traffic. Like that's my life. And so I'm not gonna stop at a drive-through or anything. I will have one of these in my car. So I always pack 2 a day every time I go to work. And so one of them will be eaten in case like I'm starving and I want to go to a drive-through. So instead of that, I'll have this to hold me over until I get home, and then I have my meals. Last but not least, we have some potatoes. I honestly just get whatever potatoes are on sale at Whole Foods, and they are organic as well. So whatever's on sale potatoes, I have them with my lunch every single day. So I will just like boil them and then like season them up after. Sometimes I'll bake them, but lately I've just been boiling them. It's easier for me. I just pop them in on top of the oven, and then I'm able to do other things, whether it's like cook my breakfast, whatever. So that's gonna happen soon. I'm just gonna be doing all of that, putting that down. And then we have some avocados, and we have some, let me see if I can move it here. And we also have some bananas. I have some other really ripe bananas. So depending on what my day looks like tomorrow, it's Sunday and I have church. But not only that, I'm serving all 3 services. So it's just a long day in general. But if I am in a mood to bake, I might do some baking with these bananas. But bananas and avocados are purchased on a regular now. Avocados, I think it's because there's been like an um, over purchase, I guess you could say, at Whole Foods. So a lot of the avocados that I've been seeing have been on sale for the last like 3 weeks, 4 weeks now. So I'm hoping it can continue that way because a girl loves her avocado. I mash them all up for my lunch as well. And sometimes on the weekends, if I have some leftover, I'll put them in with my breakfast. So that's kind of like the gist of what I have for my meals. This is what allows me to make my breakfast and lunch and have dinner right here at home. This protects me from going out to drive through whatever, going out to eat and spending money that I shouldn't be spending, and also eating food that's actually not good for me. So knowing that it's being cooked here, what I'm putting in it, X, Y, and Z, it's clean, it's organic, and it's good for my body, like that's exactly what I need to do. And so I think it's important for you when you're thinking about trying to work out, when you're thinking about, okay, I need to change things about my body, you have to look at it as a whole, right? You can't just think about, okay, workout and what the equipment I'm going to use if you're not fixing what's going inside your body. I think people really need to understand that the food matters the most. You can work out as much as you want, but if you're drinking all the time, you're eating processed food, like nothing is going to change, right? Your body's going to still see the same thing over and over. You're going to step on the scale, you're going to look at your body and be like, what's going on? And it's because you're not putting the right foods in your body. Now, with that being said, I get that the food that I have essentially is like organic and from Whole Foods, and not everyone can afford that. That's just the life I'm able to afford now. Before, that wasn't the case. 4 years ago, I was slowly shopping at Stop and Shop because that's all I could really afford, and I wasn't buying food like this, right? So I was buying like just other mess, and I was eating out a lot because I wasn't buying food that I could make like meals with. So now that I'm able to like afford Whole Foods, afford that type of food, and then make those meals that I'm never sick of. Like, yes, I make the same breakfast all the time, never sick of it. Yes, I have the same lunch every single day, never sick of it. I love me a good salmon. We're good here. And so for me, it works, and I see the results, and I see the difference that it makes for my body overall. So that's what some things you have to consider. Like, yes, I can give you all the home things that you can do, all the workouts, X, Y, and Z, all the equipment. Cool, you can have all of that. But if you're not changing your eating habits, there's nothing that can be done, right? You have to look at your eating habits. You have to look at how much you're going out to eat, what you're putting in your body, and call it a day. No one's telling you to hold back. No one's telling you to not to eat this food. But you have to understand that if you're having a McFlurry every single day, that's not going to do anything for you. Stop complaining. Like, you're doing this to yourself. So change your habits, change the way you're eating, and call it a day. And yes, you might think like, wow, where's all her like desserts and everything like that? I have it here and there, right? Peanut butter is my dessert. Mush, peanut butter, but overnight oats, that is my dessert. Sometimes I actually bake. So when I do bake, that is actually my dessert. When I make my banana bread, when I make my banana brownie little mix, like that is actually my dessert. And I have that maybe twice a month. Twice a month I'm baking those things. And so I have them for like 3-4 days. And that's enough for me. And then I'm back at it again. And so it does take discipline, it does take time, it takes consistency for your mind and your body to completely alter from it to being like, oh, this is difficult, to being like, now this is normal. And so that's where I am now. This is my norm. And I absolutely love where I am at this moment. There's so much more for me to go through and so much more for me to do. But at this moment, this is my norm, right? Prepping my food, getting ready for the week, working out 3-4 times a week. That's it for me. Eating the type of food that I'm eating. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm actually gonna go prep my food for the week. It's gonna take some time, and then we'll be back talking more about home equipment and what we do for, our workouts here, all here in this apartment, my lovely home abode. All right, see you guys in a bit. Okay, everyone, we are wrapping up our cooking in our night. I'm gonna share with you some things that I have just made very quick, easy, probably took in total an hour, maybe an hour, 15 minutes, not long at all. So let me share that with you. Okay, so we have our egg dish here. I'm just letting it cool down. But as you can see, the peppers, the onions, the chicken links, whatever are in there. And so I'm gonna cut it up into 12 squares. And that's what I'm gonna have for the week. In here, cooling off, we have our ground beef, just some cheese in there as well that's still melting. And then we have our potatoes in here. So altogether, this is my meal. So I have my breakfast. So I have 2 of these every single morning. And then my lunch will consist of a bit of the ground beef, potatoes on the side. Then I'll cut up some spinach, cucumbers, cottage cheese, and then avocado. So this is what we are making. So we're back. Welcome, everybody. It's the next day. It is Sunday. I just got back from church. I am all dolled up because I worship, and so when I worship, I want to make sure I look good. The lights can be horrible on my face sometimes, so we just did 3 back-to-back services. It was honestly amazing. It was a great Sunday. Can't complain. Love worshiping, and I get to worship with my friends, so I think that's just a fun time, to love God, to praise God, and to worship. But to get back to what we were talking about, right now I actually have in the oven, I'm baking some potatoes because I'm going to get ready to make a brownie dish that I saw on Instagram, and it essentially requires 2 baked potatoes, some bananas, eggs, butter, all of that. Which reminds me, I'm going to take the butter out right now before I forget. Okay, we're back. All right, so the goal of this conversation is essentially to help and cater to people who are trying to make an adjustment in their lives. So you're probably considered a beginner and you're trying to do some revamp to your life, whether it is your aesthetics, how you look, your strength, whatever it may be. And so the goal of March Movement Madness is to showcase things that you could have in your home that can help you get started. I would recommend that eventually you make your way towards a traditional gym where you can lift a little bit heavier and also execute exercises that you can't really do in a home unless you have like a huge home gym where you have a full squat rack and you have multiple dumbbells. You have the space to do types of functional movements, which is what I would always recommend when you're trying to train and work out, is doing functional movement, because that's exactly what you need to have throughout your day and throughout your lives. So for me, what this video is going to provide for you guys is that just the basics. What are things that I have in my apartment that allows me to do home workouts every single day? Absolutely love doing them. So I'm just going to go through what I have and you're going to come along for the ride. Okay, starting off, just because I was sitting on my couch, is right underneath my couch. That's where I store all of them, are my bands. And so I'm going to show you the different types of bands I have. So I have, the normal bands, circular, and I have variations of them. So this is the black one's heavy. And so when you're looking at the bands and you want to know the resistance level, they will either mark it. So this is upside down. They'll mark it for you. And then each circle that is colored will indicate like which one it is. So the fact that all the circles are colored in for this band means this is the highest resistance this band has. If you're going for something super easy and light, this one considered heavy, and it has like 3 circles colored in. So I have a variation of these bands. I have a couple of bags worth of them. And I love bands because I do a lot of my warm-ups with them. Excuse me. I do a lot of my warm-ups with these bands. So I'll do banded marches with them. I'll do dead bugs with them. They're just really good side to side steps to activate your glutes. Bands are just really good overall. I tend to use them a lot with my track athletes. So when I used to coach track, but when I was coaching track, we use bands all the time to warm up our athletes. So they're just really great for just ankle mobility, hip mobility, upper body warm-ups. You can do a lot of workouts with just a band for your upper body, and it was just great for warm-up. So that's why I absolutely love having my bands here. Is just great to just do a couple of workouts. And then in addition to that, I also have, kind of tangled now, but I also have these bands right here. As you can see, there's handles on each end. And then I have this right here, which is my door stopper. So these two are connected because yesterday I actually did an upper body workout with these 2 bands. I did a variation of a lat pull down, and I'll probably have a video to show that. And so I've had these bands since 2020. So when COVID hit, I was doing workouts at home, and this was just great for me to have. So I was moving my body, staying indoors, all that stuff. But these bands were great, and there's a variation of sizes, not sizes, but resistance. So for example, this band right here that I pulled out already, the black one is 40 pounds, and then the green one was 25. So in total, like I was pulling down 65 pounds. Not a lot, but it was just great to just get that started. It was my first time doing a variation of lat pull down with these bands. So I just wanted to test it out to see how it is. And so I have different sizes for this. So it came all together. I have 15, I have 25, I have 35, I have a 10-pound one to start us off. And then I just keep them all together in like a little small box. And then they just go right under my couch. So that way, one, you can't really see it. The moment I am done with it, we're good to go. So that's kind of the upper body work I tend to do with the bands, warm up as well. And then there's one more thing that I actually use with my door. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. Now, the next thing is, I should have put everything here. Now I'm like going around trying to find things. But the next thing that I have to use with my door is my TRX. It's kind of long, so it's really hard to see, but I'll probably show a video of me using it. And then it has the handles on the bottom. I've had this for a while now, maybe 3-4 years, but this is my first year actually using it in my apartment, and I'm really mad that I haven't done it before. So TRX right there. Big thing I would love to say before I continue on and showcase you other things that I have to make my workouts doable here in my apartment is this was a build-up. So I started building my workout stuff from 2020 up until now 2026. So I just want to make that very clear that this is not something I bought all together. These were things I slowly built up, and then now I have exactly what I need and I'm good to go. So we're going to take you on to the next thing, and it's going to be in another part of my apartment. So we're going to move over there. So the next location that I have is this corner of my apartment, and in this corner we have my walking pad. So the one that I have is Urevo, I think that's how you pronounce it. I bought this 2022. I purchased this, and basically I was like, okay, I want to move my body indoors when it's raining out, snowing, all that stuff. But I found that I can actually run on this too. I actually do my runs on this walking pad as well. Like yesterday, I did a 5K running interval workout on this one. So that was really great to have. And it comes remote control right here. It plugs right in. There's a switch button on the bottom of it, and I can control it from this controller right here that I keep. And then as you can tell, I leave my sneakers right on there. So that way, one, I don't have to go searching for my sneakers. They're ready to go. So the moment I start my workout, they're there. And the moment I'm done, I just leave them on the treadmill. And then the next thing I have, I'm going to preface that I purchased this before the hype. I didn't know this was even a thing. I've always used weighted vests. That's something I just consistently had on me, or just like part of my routine as someone who's done strength training for almost now close to over 10 years. So weighted vest has always been part of a routine, whether you want to use it or not. It added more resistance when you're doing a specific workout. And of course, it has other added bonus. Now, all of a sudden, the last 2 years, it's just became a hype and a trend, and I love it. It's great, and I'm glad that people are finding it. But just make sure you're doing everything correctly. So I do have a weighted vest that I keep on my treadmill. This is about 25 pounds. And so sometimes I use it if I'm just doing like a walk on the treadmill. And if I want to do an intense run workout, I'll use the vest. So that's kind of my walking pad situation. It stays here for majority of the winter. And then once, I would say like after April vacation, maybe like towards, I would say Memorial Day now, given the fact that it's still cold in April and parts of May. After Memorial Day, usually the treadmill will go back under the couch and I'll start my running workouts and runs outdoors only. Right now, it's still not a vibe for me to go running. And some places are still like where I usually run, it's like a gravel track and it's still kind of muddy and the snow just melted. And so it's not viable yet to do my runs on it. So as of right now, we're staying on the walking path / treadmill, whatever you want to call it. Once everything gets cleared and I'm able to, I don't know, I'll run outside where I have the space and ability to. I don't like running on cement a lot because it's really not good for you. Then when that track area is clear, we're good to go. And the best thing about where I live is that area, the field where I run around, it's maybe a minute walk, 30-second run from my apartment. So it's doable and it's great. So that's my corner, and I have a couple more to show you. So give me a second. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to show you is my kettlebell. Now, like for this kettlebell, it's not like your traditional look of a kettlebell. It is a, what is it called? A Bowflex? Not Bowflex. It is a Bowflex kettlebell, and you can adjust the weight accordingly. So let me bring you down so you can have a better view. So this is my Bowflex, and as you can see, there is a dial. There's a dial just there. This is the Bowflex kettlebell, and so you can make adjustments as you see fit. But right now it's at the 40. Oh, it's on the base. I can make the adjustments. So for here, right now it's at 8 pounds, 40, 35. And then when you lift it, you can see the base, which has the other 5 pounds of the other kettlebell weight, and you put it back on the base and you can make adjustments accordingly. So that's kind of how I use the Bowflex kettlebell. You can see the shape and how it is. As you can see, it doesn't look like a traditional kettlebell. It's not fully round, right? So that's kind of the shape of it. It does work for me and what I need for my workouts. So that is the Bowflex. Okay, last thing I wanted to share with you is this dumbbell. I have 2 of these. So each of them go up to 25 pounds. And so as you can see, there is a dial again on this one, similar to my kettlebell. And when you twist it, you can decide the weight. So it goes all the way down to 5 and goes up to 25. So this is another one that I have, and I have 2 of these sets, and it's magnet. So let's say I only want 5 pounds. When I lift it, the rest of the weight stays when I lift it, and then I put it back, and here we go. As you can see, that's kind of the gist of what I have at home. The kettlebell and the dumbbells are great, the adjustable ones, because I can store them underneath my bookcase right behind me, and it's perfect space saver to have, especially if you're someone who has a smaller apartment. Just like myself, I have a really small apartment. I can't have a weight rack anywhere. So getting these adjustable ones were great to have for my workouts. And in general, they go up only to 25 pounds. And I know there's other options that go higher. My brother is actually the reason why I got these. He has one that goes up to, I think, like 55 or something. So those weren't like, at that point, I didn't need a dumbbell that went up to 55. Now though, when I think about it, like I wish I got that because I knew I was going to start with my progressions, but this is just as good. And I'm able to do the workouts that I want to do. And if I need to make an advancement or a progression within my workout, I just find something to do that. For example, if I were to do goblet squats, I'll do elevated goblet squats, but then I'll use a textbook in my apartment and elevate my ankles that way and put my heels down on a book, and it elevates my foot, and I'm able to do goblet squats that really target my glutes. So lastly, little things that I also have in my apartment to kind of help with recovery and get my home workout exactly where I want it to be. I have Chirp, which I got these, I want to say end of 2022. Um, I was able to get them. I had some leftover money for my health insurance that I needed to spend or I was going to lose. And I was like, that's dumb, but whatever. Nothing can roll over. Anyways, so they had a specific site that I had to go through that I can purchase whatever I need to purchase on there. And so I was able to get a couple of things. So one of them was the Chirp wheel. And so I used it actually yesterday to like really open up my back. And that's really helpful, especially as someone who sits all day for work or sits in the car for a long period of time. I'm in the car almost 2.5 hours a day because of traffic. So really opening up my back and stretching my back out is super helpful, and the Chirp does that for me. And then of course I have my massage gun. This is something I do use a lot, and also when I bring it to my school, my athletes love to use this. And I get a simple one. I don't buy like the huge name brand ones. To me, this just does the trick, and it's great, and it works for me as well, and the battery life is just as good. So I didn't spend a lot of money on that. Home is built to create a space that will allow me to grow mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, all of those things. And so I felt that it was important to share because I know there are other people who are trying to find ways to grow physically and not really knowing, okay, like what do I need to have? What do I need to buy? I honestly think if you have a good set of dumbbells, you have some bands, and maybe like space, outdoor space where you can go for a walk, maybe for a run, you're golden to start from there. This is for everybody who is looking for just opportunity to grow physically, the ability to make things happen for yourself. Home workouts are doable, they show success, and your ability to get that started is doable, right? Just buy the equipment one thing at a time. You don't need to go crazy, and just build from there. Like I said before, all of this took 6 years in total to accumulate, and it's really not that much stuff, but I was very careful about my purchases because things can get costly. If you're looking for any of these products, they are down below, linked below. If you want to take a look, see if it's something that you want to purchase, and we'll go from there. I think for next time, not next video, but maybe in the future, near future, I'll share with you some of the workouts that I have been doing at home with all of these products and maybe break them down for home workouts. I think that would be something that would be advantageous for many people who are just trying to figure out how can I make my workouts at home um, challenging so I can still see results, but it's manageable because I have only dumbbells. That's all I have for you all, and I hope this was something that was informative, from the foods that I consume to the types of products and equipment I have to make the home workouts doable. And I hope that you took that in to see, like, okay, what are some things I could make changes to see the results I want to see, whether it's the food I consume or the type of workouts that I do. And I hope you get something from there. If there are any questions that you have, put them in the comments below. If there are home workouts that you have been doing that you have enjoyed doing, put that below too. I want to hear and learn more about what other people are doing in their homes to build their physical health overall. So that's all I have for all of you guys. Thank you so much for being here with me. And until next time.